What's up, guys? STS here for another simple review. This movie right here is gonna be really. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be a shitty review. Just to say, because you have times where you watch a movie for a couple of hours and then you fall asleep and you pause it and whatnot, and the next day you watch it and you're like, oh wow, like the plot's trying to get back to your head. Well, that's what happens to this film right here. The thing is that this movie it will not get a rent because I liked it and I stopped it and then I liked it then. We are doing, this is a Lucio Fulci. I think I said Lucio right. Lucio Fulci, Italian director. And I'll tell you what though, these Italian, Dario Argento, and so many Italian horror movies has got to be awesome. So I'm going to try to find the future watching these Italian horror films because I love Italian horror. Galileo. It's awesome. But we are in the very first on Hulu, and I'm glad I got to see this before it went off before it goes off because this movie's expired on Hulu, and I saw the time, and I get to see this finally. But the movie is Paura, nella città, morti, viventi, which I don't know what the hell that means. It means City of the Living Dead. But there's the regular cover, City of the Living Dead. Lucio Fulci, I've seen Zombie. I've seen City of the Living Dead. And I've seen The Beyond. I maybe seen something else maybe from him. I don't know, but this film right here is the very first of his unofficial Gates of Hell trilogy. And this film, because it basically just, there's a seance involved here. The music here. First of all, we're going to deal with the positive. Because from here, the music. The music, the score of this is tremendous, and because it sounds like, oh, that sounds like the song of like a slight difference to Zombie song, and then this one goes, damn. I don't know how it sounds. Hold on, I'll play a little. Well, because that's the Zombie version, but this is the. See it. This is the theme. See, it sounds different. And that was overplayed a lot too. And sometimes movies like that, it just staggers. It doesn't work. But that score is unfucking believable. But basically, there's a seance held, and basically with Mary Woodhouse, who's Katrina. Or she's playing was Kate something, but they changed her actor name, Katrina Merkel, she's in all three of the films. She's in City of the Living Dead, she's in The Beyond, and The House of the Cemetery. A seance has been held at this apartment, Medium Teresa. She experiences a traumatic vision of a daughter, Thomas, hanging himself from a tree branch in the cemetery. And that's why I'm using Wikipedia to read the plot to you, just so I can remember some thoughts, because that's basically if it's a video I didn't get into or whatnot, or like I said, like I watched it one day and the other I gotta get back in this film. But it's a pretty good film. This doesn't get a rant here either. I love this film. So I'm gonna read the whole plot. So sorry, spoiler. So if you don't want to see this, you don't want to know my visions, but I'll talk about it. New York City during a seance and held the apartment of the Medium Teresa. Mary Woodhouse. I can just put it here so I can tell you over here. Mary Woodhouse experiences a traumatic vision of a priest, Father Thomas, she's the main character, hanging himself from a tree in a branch in a cemetery of the remote village of Dunwich. Dunwich? When they overwhelm her, Mary breaks the circle, goes into convulsions, and falls forward. She's dead. So they think she's dead, and she's not really dead. The police, led by Sergeant Clay, investigate Teresa, but fail to heed her warnings of imminent evil. Outside the apartment building, Peter Bell, who's played by Christopher George, which he's pretty cool, an American actor in this film, and I think I've seen films of him before, and I just checked out his Wikipedia page and all those acting stuff. He did well. A local journalist, he tries to gain entry to the premises, but is turned away. The following day, Mary's buried, because now I remember this scene. Mary's buried by these. She has a funeral, and then she's buried in a local cemetery, overlooked site. Peter visits her gravesite. The gravediggers leave Mary's half-covered coffin, then work and shift. And as Peter begins to leave, he keeps on looking back, like, is she really that dead or not? And then so there's a shot of her in the casket, screaming to death, So he ends up freeing her from a premature bear, which the pick was almost cozily, when he was putting the pick at, she almost got fucking bludgeoned to death. I don't know how many times. He hit that his trying to get her out, but it was in the weirdest positions, right from her fucking nose and shit. If that happened to me, fuck that. You're, oh my lord. But, he saves her. They visit Teresa, who warns them that according to the ancient book of Enoch, the events of Mary, witches in her visions, precedes the eruption of the living dead to our world. The death of Father Thomas, a marked priest, has somehow opened the door through which the living dead can enter the invasion welcoming us on All Saints Day, just a few days away. In Dunwich, Bob, a lonely youth with a bad reputation, wanders into a abandoned house, finding a rubber doll which inflates itself. Before he can use it, the sight of a rotting baby corpse scares him away. I'm trying to remember that. See, I don't remember that at all. At June's lounge, the barman talks with two local men, Mr. Ross and Mike, about recent strange events for which Mr. Ross is inclined to blame Bob. When a mirror stares, the wall cracks speedily. The men leave despite the bartender's offer for drinks across town. Gary, a psychologist, is in the consultation with Sandra, a neurotic patient. When Emily Robbins, his 19-year-old girlfriend and personal assistant, arrives, she tells Gary that she's on her way to meet Bob, whom she's been trying to help. After Emily leaves, Sandra's pet cat, whom she's been holding for her session, suddenly scratches her badly, and that was a badly bad scratch. Huddles in the corner, and Emily visits Bob's a disguised lodge, but early few groans scares him away. Emily's left alone when she faces the supernatural vision of Father Thomas, who smothers her with a maggot covered hand, which that was pretty cool beast. I like that. Short distance away, Rose Calvin and Timmy Fisher, a teenage couple, are making out Tommy's Jeep. When they see the gas image of Roger inside the Jeep with a powerful mission stare, Father Thomas winks, makes Rose's eyeballs bleed, and she meets a gas effect by vomiting her entire guts out while Tommy watches. That was fucking awesome. I'm getting excited for her fucking death. I've never seen that before, and it's fucking graphic and fucking awesome. That was. And make tears. I mean, it's just Lucio Fulci knows what he's doing. The picture, the repeating score, I mean, it's fucking awesome. It's at this point when the zombies come and the sound, it's fucking awesome. But that kill to death with the vomiting her own fucking intestines and everything was fucking. And I'm watching and like, wow, this is fucking awesome. Well, he's mentally killed by getting his head ripped open by Saul. What's the point of these zombies with grabbing the people? Did they have the immediate force of grabbing the fucking back and forth and just grab your brains like it's fucking pudding? That's the one thing I never knew about zombies. And once you die, you're just, but your hands are like fucking smash a fucking head like a pumpkin. But the next morning, there's no sign of Rose and Tommy. While Amy's bodies had found the garage, the local pathologist, Dr. Joe Thompson, could not, which is Lucio Fulci's cameo, could not make a clear reception of how Emily died, except from a heart attack shared by sheer fright. After Dr. Tommy leaves the scene, the sheriff also finds a small puddle of black worm-infested fluid nearby. Mr. Robbins tells the sheriff and Gary the suspicions about Bob. Meanwhile, Peter and Mary leave New York and embark their search for the town of Dunwich in the scene of Mary's vision. As All Saints Day approaches, the people of Dunwich, whatever the fuck it is, comment me saying you're retarded, you can't spell right, suffer further ghastly vegetation in advance of the hellish outpouring that evening. Bob sees Father Thomas hanging in the deserted house in Franklin's. At the local morgue, a mortician's bitten on the hand by the cadaver of an elderly Jane Holden while trying to steal her jewelry. The apparition of the dead Emily pays a nocturnal visit to her little brothers John. At Sandra's house, the corpse of Miss Holden appears without explanation on her kitchen floor. Sandra calls out for Gary for help, and she tries to cling with the possibility of rational explanation. But as soon as Gary arrives, the bodies disappeared. Investigating noises appear upstairs in Sandra's house. The doctor and the patient witness burned with glass fry from a shattered glass in the wall opposite. The wall bleeds from before their eyes, forcing them to flee the house. Meanwhile, Bob is taken refuge in the Rossland garage, where Mr. Ross Teenager finds him and tries to comfort him after he tries to explain what's going on. The rabbit Patrick enters and mistakenly assumes that Bob is trying to seduce his daughter, which he's not. The vicious Mr. Ross kills Bob by impaling his head with a drilling laugh. Another graphic kill. And this doesn't have to do with the movie here. I mean, they thought he was seducing his daughters. Like, no, he's trying to fucking tell them what's going on. No, this fucking guy, the dad, kills this motherfucker in the most graphic fucking way. Practically drags his head and like that shit. Fucking out there. We get the following morning. Peter and Mary follow a blind village priest directions to the stone. Another blind. Who's got blind people in these movies, I swear. Arriving at the graveyard, they begin searching for Father Thomas's tomb. Gary and Singe also arrive at her following trail there. The two couples exchange stories about the recent events. They begin to become acquainted at Gary's office when a sudden violent storm blasts through the window, showering the floor with maggots. When that was a fucking... Man. Shit. That was a dysfunctional movie, like... Fuck these maggots. But that was everywhere. When it's over, Gary receives a distressing phone call from John. The little boy says that his dead sister has returned from the grave during the night and killed his parents. The four rush over to the Robin's house to find John's story is true. Cinder offers to take the boy to the apartment while Peter, Mary, and Gary try to find the sheriff. Upon leaving her apartment building, Cinder is killed by the male zombie, the ghost of Emily, who rips Cinder's scalp with the brain like always. John runs for the fog-shrouded streets of town, and more zombies and townspeople, who is saved by Gary, who hands the boy over to the police. At June's lounge, Mr. Ross, Mike, and the barman are attacked and are finally killed by the morning ghouls as the state emergency is declared over the radio. Mary, Peter, and Gary arrive back at the graveyard as All Saint days begin. They desert into Father Thomas's family tomb, which is they discover an underground grotto of scared remains, but that was fucking weird. Like he had their tombs like it was underground. You know, it was weird. I didn't see that before. But Cinder suddenly appears as a zombie, kills Peter by ripping his brains out. Gary impels her with a cave wall with a pitchfork for her chest before she can kill Mary. Mary and Gary continue until they reach a weird stained glass chamber coated in musk and dust. There they face Father Thomas, who has been rendered in his corporeal existence with his supernatural powers intact. Mary and Gary looking as all the dead begin to emerge from the tomb surrounding. Father Thomas once again begins to use his powerful stare, making people bleed, making Mary's eyes bleed. Before his stare can tear Mary, Gary grabs a large rotting rolling cross and dispels Father Thomas. The evil priest's guts are punctured, and he and the message burst into flames back to hell or whatever. The gates of hell had been closed just before the dead fully rise. Mary and Gary stir from the subterranean catacombs of the night and emerge back at Father Thomas' tomb into the graveyard in the morning to see John and the police. Mary and Gary's relief turns to shock as the realization of the past events become all too clear. Mary begins to scream as John's running towards him before the film begins to crack, which we don't even know what the fuck happened. We don't know what the hell happened. I mean, the cliffhanger, what I was due at the end of the day, like I talk about what would happen to cliffhang the movie, what happened. We don't know. I mean, did the boy die? Did hell come? I thought they closed the gates. But I don't know. I love this film. This is great. This was fucking awesome. So far, 2 films, the unofficial Gates of Hell trilogy. I enjoyed this, and I enjoyed the Beyond. Now I got the House by the Cemetery. So hopefully, I don't think there's gonna be no negative there either. But so far, these movies are exciting, and also Zombie. Lucio Fulci knows what the fuck he's doing. Great fucking Italian director. But that's the end of the story. I thought it was great. The score. You know, let's see the fucking I want to know the sound on here. I don't know, but this, it's just the music and everything is great. You know, the plot. I mean, the plot. Comparing this to the Beyond, shitty, but it was entertaining to watch it because there's more positives than the negatives because of the score and then some of the acting and the kills, because the kills were memorable. And the things, I enjoyed it, but I think the Beyond was better. But that's it. But I'm STS. Sorry for the shitty review where I had to read down the whole thing because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I definitely recommend The City of the Living Dead. If you're a true horror movie fan or whatnot, you gotta check this out. It's a fucking good fucking film. But I'm STS once again, and we'll see you for another simple review. Peace.